so warm. It's really warm. Welcome to another vlog. So today I've been seeing a lot of people posting what's in and what's out for this year rather than doing resolutions, and I think that's kind of cool. So I'm going to do my own in oder aus. The first thing that's in for me this year is selective purchases and being a lot more intentional with what I invest my money in. And I would say pretty much last year the thing that I consumed and purchased the most were decks. Anything that tickled my fancy even a little bit, I clicked buy on, and this year I will obviously still be, that's the cats running amok. Probably buy new decks. I don't think I could do a no buy year. They do bring me a lot of joy, but I do want to be more purposeful with my finances. I want to invest in more experiences as well, rather than physical objects that I don't necessarily need. So like the flip side of that in what's out would be pre-ordering mass market decks. There is absolutely no need for that. I got quite burnt by doing that actually. There would have been cases where if I just purchased a deck as soon as it was available, I actually would have got my hands on it sooner than rather having pre-ordered it. And you only end up saving like $2 or something like that. So definitely no pre-ordering mass market decks. That is absolutely out. And also the same goes for Kickstarter, being much more discerning. And with decks in general, I am pretty much, unless it's something that I instantly am enamored with and I think I have to have this speaks to my soul, unless it's a deck like that, because I did recently purchase a deck of playing cards and that was that feeling for me. I had to own it and collect it. Unless I had that instant, intense feeling, if I like a deck, if it is my vibe, I'm putting it on a list and I am waiting a month. And if I still really want it, I'll get it. If I haven't even thought about it and it hasn't even crossed my mind, then obviously I can live without it. So that's kind of how I am going about choosing what to buy. Same goes for like any thrifted things. Like I did thrift this. I almost never try thrifted stuff on. I don't like going into change rooms and I don't like being in shops longer than necessary. So I just tend to just grab stuff off the rack. And this one doesn't, like, it's cute, but it definitely looks better without a bra, but I'm not confident enough to go walking around alone without a bra in this. So it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have purchased this one. So it's the same thing, unless I see something that I really bloody love and I'm going to make myself try it on. That's number one thing too. It's the same, yeah, with thrifted clothes. It's the same with any sort of item. I just want to make sure I don't get buyer's remorse or I'm not frittering away my money frivolously. I just want to be more intentional with the things that I curate for my life. The next thing that's in for me this year is color. I want to experiment with color in terms of my clothing. Most of my life, I only wore black, white, and gray. And I think that's because I did not want to be seen and I was going through a lot of things. I'm not going to discuss it, but now after my divorce, I remember I just suddenly started craving color, and that has only intensified as the years have gone on. So I do want to play with makeup as well, being just more fun and playful and not so serious and not always trying to look, chic or like an adult. I just want to live out loud a little bit more. So yeah, in terms of wardrobe and makeup and household objects, color is in, and it's also the same with life experiences. I want to live a larger life. I want to no longer hide myself away. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone because this year I really want it to be different to all the previous years. I want new energy. I need some new, different energy, and therefore I'm trying to bring that energy myself by doing things I haven't done, trying new things, really stepping into that sort of strength and confidence. And I'm going to channel that like Queen of Wands energy and just shine as bright as I can, pretty much. And the flip side of that, what's out? People pleasing. So this is coming on the heels too of my daughter, my eldest daughter, asking me if I could change the way I dress because other kids at the school were making fun of me for not dressing like the other mums. And I guess if you're going to say, what do the other mums wear? It would be like loungewear, active wear, jeans and sweaters. I wear those things too. But once again, after my divorce, I really sunk into the whole thing of doing things that bring me joy and not saving things for a special occasion. I had this closet full of beautiful clothes that I would deem only an option if I had some special one-off event. And I thought, every single day of my life is a special occasion. It could be my last. Do I want to go into my grave having an entire wardrobe of unworn clothing that I could have enjoyed? Like, the same thing goes for the, fancy crockery or anything of that nature where you feel like, oh, it's too fine, I better not use it. What's the point? Use it up. I also sort of dig that, I think is it animism or Shinto? I can't remember. I'm sorry for my ignorance. But the thing of that, our items also have spirit, like my house, my pillows, the plants in my garden, everything has its own spirit. And when it comes to your belongings, they want to be used by you. They want to be of service, and not using them and hiding them away, it's sort of dulling their life force, so to speak. So I want everything to get its moment in the sun. And so when my daughter first told me, though, could you just not wear what you wear? My initial reaction was to be, of course, whatever will make you more comfortable. And I pull myself back and I'm like, no, darling, I'm 38. I don't live to please others. I live my life for myself. I want to wear what I want to wear and act how I want to act and do what I want to do. And anybody that tells you, hey, can you dim your light a bit? It's a bit too bright for my eyes. That's not someone that you should be around. And if these friends of yours are saying negative things about your mother, perhaps they're not people that you should associate with. Pretty much what was happening was they were slut shaming me for the way I dressed. And I was actually quite flabbergasted because I felt like my generation, millennials, really did away with slut shaming women for how they dress. That's not done anymore at all. Instead, we celebrate women's autonomy in being able, obviously in our Western culture, I'm very aware there's a privilege with that, to wear what they want to wear, to adorn their body with what they want to adorn it with, and to not be judged by that morally. But so to hear, my daughter she's on the cusp of Gen Z and Gen A, she's right on that cusp. To hear that they're doing that was very disappointing, to say the least. But I said to her, I hope that you're really not doing that and that you're not looking at other women and judging them based on their clothing negatively. And I said, look, obviously I can't control what your friends are saying and doing, but I really hope that you know better than that. And I understand that you don't want to stand up for me because of the whole peer thing. I get it. She's a tween, and that social structure, status, hierarchy thing is very important to their sense of self. But I said, at least don't participate in it, But I said, I'm sorry that if you find it embarrassing because your friends are commenting negatively, but I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to be very firm in myself because I want you to be that way too. I don't want you to conform to others' expectations of you to be who they want you to be. I want you to be very much yourself. So how can I teach that to you if I don't show it? But yeah, it was very hard for me to fight against the whole just trying to make peace and trying to cater to everybody else's emotional needs and wants. But I thought, no, I'm going to be who I want to be. It reminded me of this scene in Chocolat, which is one of my favorite films of all time, when the daughter Anouk tells her mother Vian, why do you have to wear red shoes? Why can't you just wear black shoes like all the other mothers? And I was like, wow, I'm living that experience right now. It's so funny sometimes how art imitates life. But yeah, I'm not going to take up less space and make myself less to make other people happy. So something else that is in this year is dating myself, romanticizing my own life. So as you know, I've been single since February last year, and I was on the apps and trying to find love, and I was very much consumed by what you should do to meet a partner. This is the only way. And I was like, now I'm obviously a year in, and I thought, no, I'm not doing it anymore. The energy that I spent and sunk into that for no reward was just alarming to me. And I thought, I just need to enjoy my life. I don't need a partner. I would love a partner. I do like being in a relationship. I'm very much a lover, and I drown in it, and I love it, and it's a beautiful facet of life. But I'm with me. I keep forgetting that I can date myself, that I can treat myself the way I want to be treated and show up for myself the way I'd like someone else to show up for me. I can do that for me. I can buy my own flowers. I can take myself out on dates. And so I'm going to. And so that's what I have been doing. And like I said, just romanticizing all the little details in life. And for me, what that means is noticing the beauty in everything. There is really beauty in everything. And it's just sinking into that moment and being present. Just the sunlight going through the trees, I believe it's called komorebi, is just a breathtaking moment for me. And yeah, just being the main character of my own life and being the girlfriend that I would want or the boyfriend that I would want. So that's what's in, just really participating, being an active participant in life and making the world around me beautiful. What's out is scrolling. So scrolling dating apps that, yeah, I haven't been on in January and I'm not sure if I will return. I've decided that each start of every month I will reassess, do I want to get back on? But if I'm honest with you, the only reason that, besides the fact that most people, most of my generation these days are on the apps, the reason that I thought it was necessary was because I met my ex-boyfriend through the app. So that did bring me love. But I had to sit and remind myself, Chanel, that was during a pandemic. Like that probably was the only way to meet people. And yes, it did bring you that love in your life and that's wonderful. But that doesn't mean now that that's still the only way that you can find romantic love. Yeah, at the moment I'm not on it and it feels great, to be honest. I don't know if I will be going back on. Like I'm not saying dating apps are bad. Like I said, they did work for me in the past, but that doesn't mean that that's the right way for me currently. And like I said, I'm just very much want to be in my own energy. And I believe like that's the best way to attract the right energy to you, because it's very easy just to find someone on an app, but that doesn't mean that that's the kind of love that you're actually going to benefit the most from. And it's the same thing with scrolling apps. Like sometimes I do read a lot, which I'm very thankful that I have that as a hobby and that is my preferred source of entertainment. But sometimes I do find myself wanting the numbingness of just scrolling through Pinterest, which once again, Pinterest is fantastic. I freaking love that app. It definitely inspires a lot of my creativity. It's a creative resource for me, but I can discern the moments when I'm doing something constructively and creatively and when I'm doing something as a coping mechanism. And I have to remind myself that there's actually better coping mechanisms for you that will actually improve your mood, will actually give you that self-care that you're looking for. You're not going to find it in this. Once again, it's like using technology beneficially. That's, something. So mindless scrolling out, participating in life and using technology to my benefit, that's in. The last one, because I didn't want to do too many and overwhelm myself, something that's in is aimless walking, like wandering walks and like gratitude. I just want to go on more walks just to look around and not so much for either exercise, which is sometimes what I tend to do. Because movement is a bit tricky for me. Walking is one way that I can get movement in that doesn't tend to take too many of my spoons or cause injury. So I'll be like, okay, Chanel, you need to go on a walk today. But if you do that too many times in a row, it becomes a drudgery, it becomes a chore, it becomes something you don't want to do, and you're just counting the minutes until you can stop it. Whereas I just want to walk for walking's sake and just to have a look around. I think walking is a great meditation. I find it really helps not just empty your mind, but also I come to many insights when I'm in this peaceful state while walking and not listening to something in my ears. So I want to do more of that, have that stillness and that awe and wonder, combine them. And what's out for me is focusing on my body's lacks. So I started collecting my chronic illness conditions, autoimmune, genetic, all of them started presenting themselves. And when you do have chronic illness, it can become so overwhelming that that's all you can think about. It's become like part of my personality almost, because I talk about it constantly. I talk about it a lot. I focus on it a lot. I was looking too much at what I couldn't do, what my body was stopping me from enjoying or participating in, instead of looking at, well, what is your body allowing you to do, actually showing up for you. I want to change the way that I look at my body and my health and focus more on the positives than allowing myself to be drowned by the negatives. Like, yes, there is pain. Yes, I can't push myself the way other people can push themselves. I can't participate the way that other people can participate. There is a limit. I have a lot of limitations, but I actually still am incredibly lucky. So I was looking at the cup half empty and not noticing how much was still filled. Like, I have 2 legs that I can walk around with easily, and even though I wear glasses, I can still see. Like, there, do you know what I mean? I want to give my body props. I want to be kinder to it. I want to thank it. And yeah, I don't want to speak so negatively on it all the time. Look, am I almost always tired and in pain? Yes, man, like, that's just the reality of it. But I don't need to constantly point it out. I just don't want to be in that energy anymore. I want to just be cheering on whatever I can cheer that day. You know, it's the small victories that I am going to be focusing on from this point forward, and changing the language that I use when speaking about myself and my body and my health. But yeah, I think this whole year for me is about that whole premise of what you don't change, you are actively choosing. And so I'm trying to choose better this year. I'm trying to change myself in ways that want to sort of align with a higher version of myself and live. There's like this whole idea of like quantum, there's this, I can't remember what the word was. Is it quantum leaping? I can't remember, but this whole thing of like, you can put yourself in a different timeline. Like, you can become the version of you from another timeline if that's what you choose to do. Like, it's not this linear thing of this is who you are and this is only who you can be. I don't know. I want to make the leap, guys. I want to leap into a new Chanel and just be open to, like I said, new experience. I want to be a blank canvas and the universe can paint some different colors on me, and I'm not going to be so rigid anymore and fearful, I guess, of being hurt again, because at the end of the day, grief really is the proof of where there was great love. So to have grief means that you loved so greatly, and it's worth it. Even, you know, I can't talk. Death is a finite separation, because I don't believe that the body is all there is. I believe we are all energy, we're all part of one another, and I've had that experience with mushrooms, which is wonderful. So I know that they are still with me, in me. I am them, they are me. It's just the physical presence that is the hard thing to miss. The very human, sensory way of experiencing something you love, which is to touch it and hold it and hear it and taste it and all those sorts of things. So that is gone with the passing of someone you love, but they are not gone. And humans are, if anything, resilient. We can experience devastating loss and still keep living, you know? So yeah, those are my ins and outs for this year. Feel free to let me know what some of your ins and outs are for the year of 2024. I just realized Blue was behind me this whole time. You could have been seeing her. So I've deprived you of some cuteness. But today I am heading into the CBD for my rheumatologist appointment. I'm going in with 0 expectations. I think sometimes when you go in to health appointments and you don't really get the answers you were hoping to get or the treatment you were hoping to receive, it can be very devastating. It can be very frustrating. So I'm just going in expecting pretty much nothing. But that way, if I do come away from it with anything beneficial or comforting, yada, 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 that's a plus. So after my appointment, I'm heading to a restaurant. It's called Reine and LaRue. I don't know if I'll be able to eat there. You might have needed a booking. I'm just going to walk in and hope for the best. But the aesthetic of it is just so classically romantic and opulent and lush. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful, and I'm in the mood for some fresh French opulence today. So hopefully I get a table. If not, I'm sure I'll find something else. That's on the agenda, and I'll see you once I've returned. I am back. So my appointment went well. The rheumatologist wants me to do a whole bunch of more tests, so like MRIs and blood tests and x-rays, so a whole bunch of stuff. And then after the results from that, they will discuss treatment for me. So I did end up getting a table at Reine and LaRue. I have to ask anybody that's in the hospitality industry. So I was seated up at the bar. I didn't have a booking. The restaurant though was 80% empty, and the entire time I was there, not a single person came in. So normally I would think they would seat me at a bar if there was no other seats available, no tables, but 80% of the tables were empty. So I just wondered, like, why did they do that? Why would you sit people when their bookings up at a bar? No one was there. So I was there for over an hour and no one came in during that hour. So like I said, 80% of the restaurant empty. I would have much preferred a table, but still, the aesthetic of the place was gorgeous. It's got that old world charm. It feels like money. I ordered a knife fillet steak with Café de Paris butter, cooked rare because that's how I like it, and it was delicious. It was well done. And I also ordered the chocolate caramel tart, which the tart was delicious. The crust though was very hard, and I find that with a lot of tarts, sometimes the crust is just too solid for me and I don't end up eating it. I just scrape out the guts of the tart, which is what I that was Blue's Tale. Today I am heading out to see Poor Things with my best friend Kate. So going to Lido cinemas, and Lido is like an art house kind of cinema. I know that there's a book for this. I haven't read the book. I normally like to read the book first. So I am going in pretty much blind to this movie, but I will give you my review when I get back. The bags under my eyes are very real. So unfortunately, it turns out I've got to seal up the hole in my roof first before we can relocate the possums, because otherwise they're just going to come right back in, because possums must be relocated very close by to where they're taken from. So if I don't seal up the roof, they're just going to go back in. There she is. Now, everyone's been really lovely about commenting on my Melbourne Diaries segment, but this is going to be the last one because I just don't have the time to do them. They do take up a lot of time. What I'm thinking is, going forward after this month, I will split my monthly wrap-ups into 2 segments. So I'll have one that's just for decks and crochet, because that does take up quite a large amount of time. And then the other part, which is like everything that's been going on in my life, I will put little snippets and videos of what I get up to. So sort of like this, but condensed way down, and put it in there. And that's just going to have to do, because yes, I don't have the luxury of doing this, and it's not my full-time job. But I will continue for the rest of this month, because like I am having the most busy social month I think I've ever had in my entire life. My health is still persisting. It's been a bit rocky, but no flare-ups. So I am going out and catching up with everyone and sort of exploring Melbourne as if I'm a tourist. So I just booked myself into a queer burlesque night, which starts at 9 p.m. I had to like triple check the time, because I'm like, you're telling me it starts at 9? That's when I'm in bed. I'm such a grandma. I am just very much an early bird, so therefore I go to bed very early. 9 p.m. is when I like to get in there. 9:30 lights out. But, you know, I thought, hey, got to live a little. I want to see the show. It starts at 9. I'm just going to have a coffee at like 5 p.m. with dinner so I can stay awake. But that's coming up next week. So there's a few exciting things. I just got this brand new fake fur blanket. It's so cozy, because this is a nest. I sleep in this nest, and I absolutely love furry things. They make me feel snuggled and safe, and the cats absolutely love them. So thanks to my mother-in-law for dropping that off. But I'll touch base with you guys when I get back from the movie. I don't. Okay, so I am back, and Poor Things was fantastic. I did enjoy it. It's not a movie I would recommend lightly. So basically, it's in 3 parts for me. It is a reinvention of Frankenstein, with Emma Stone's character being Frankenstein's monster. The movie overall had a very gothic steampunk feel to it. The first third of the movie was in black and white, which reminds me of Gene Wilder's Frankenstein. And it had this pervasive feeling of uncomfortableness. And that was executed and delivered by way of the visuals that you were seeing, the sound. I wouldn't even call it music, I'd say the sounds, and also the way it was shot, so the way each scene was framed and the lenses they used. The whole thing together just made you feel trapped. And the feeling of being trapped is definitely a main theme in the movie. But it was very well done. It definitely was hitting those notes. And I thought, if the whole movie is like this, I cannot sit through all of it. But then you get the middle portion. And the middle portion is epitomized by vibrant, bright, fantastical colors, a sense of joy and wonder and learning and curiosity to it, of getting a feel for oneself and the world around you and how you play in between those two things, the internal and the external. And then you've got the third of it, which is starting to have the rose-colored glasses taken off and seeing that the world is not all sunshine and rainbows. There is darkness, there is suffering, there is cruelty in it, and feeling stifled by that once again. So I think it was fantastic. Big trigger warnings, guys, look them up yourselves. But for me, there is a lot of body horror in it. There is animal stuff in it in various forms. There is a lot of nudity. Some people might have an issue with that, but there is full frontal from men and women, and also like graphic sex scenes. But I thought it was fantastic. It was great. Like, it's as great as an art house film can be that is like uncomfortable and confronting. It's not a feel-good film whatsoever. I am very curious to see how the book differs. So I am absolutely going to read the book. The only issues that I had with this film that I thought were odd, that didn't make sense to me, was the main character has this emotional awakening where she discovers empathy, but then after that point, it feels like she's reverted back to her previous, more logical state and is not feeling the empathy that she previously shown. So I was like, wait, did she have that happen, or are we just ignoring that happened and now she's going back to being very different? And there was also the ending, the choice that they made with the previous husband. It didn't make sense to me. I thought that they would have, I can't spoil it, but it's like, why would they do that when they could have taken this and put that there? And that would have been great to be in that. It's very vague, I know. But yeah, I thought it was really well done. It's a good movie and I really liked it. It's refreshing. I'm in a point where I was wanting some weird stuff in novels. I just wanted to read things I hadn't read before, and I feel like I'm the same way with movies. I want to see things that I have not seen before. They are unique and they cause a whole array of feelings and thoughts, and they're great fodder for discussion afterwards, and this is one of those films. Hey guys, so I'm coming at you today with wet hair once again because I am just not patient enough to wait for it to dry to do things. I like to do things if I can do them immediately. I think it's the Aries in me. So I had a lot of events that I did want to go to and I cancelled on all of them. So I ended up getting burned out. I was really riding that winning hand probably way too long, and naturally I ended up, what's the term? Is it crapping out? I don't know what the term is. I'm not a gambler besides trading the stock market. That's my kind of gambling, I guess, like informed gambling. But yeah, I had a great time while that run lasted, but it's been 4 days and I had this amazing Hellenic Museum evening event that had all this art inspired by Greek myth, and I was so looking forward to it. But the day came and even though I'd stayed home 3 days, I still hadn't recovered. So I just couldn't bring myself to go. I'm like, I've got 0 spoons. I don't even want to like sit down, do makeup, let alone get myself to the city and walk around at nighttime on my own. No. So that sucked. I think I have to be maybe a bit more selective with what I go out and do, and just really save at the moment, just target the big ones, like the big, cool, paid for events, and not maybe like cancel some of the, you know, cafes and just random wanderings around just for now. Because I've got some great events coming up. One of them being like a really risque queer burlesque night, which starts at 9 p.m. like I said previously. I want to get to that one. So like saving all my beans. But I do have to spend some today on my kid. I'm taking her and her friends out shopping once again. It's going to be what it is. So I'm hoping also there's a restaurant there in this shopping mall. It's Westfield in Doncaster for those in Melbourne, called, I want to say feekah. I could be wrong, but it's like an all pink. And I just realized now I missed an opportunity there, but I've already done my makeup, so I should have dressed in pink to match the decor, but that's okay. So it's an all pink restaurant themed place because I cannot eat in food courts. I don't know how people can. All of that noise and all of those smells, I can't digest food in that kind of environment. So I need to find quieter places, and this is an actual restaurant within the shopping mall. So if I can get a table there with my youngest kiddo, I shall. I will, if I buy anything, I will show you. There's some things that I did notice last time, but I'm trying to, I really don't like making impulsive purchases, as I said previously. So I'm trying to hold myself back, but at the same time, I'm trying to treat myself, you know. That push and pull kind of thing happening. One thing I'm always on the lookout for, please, if anybody out there has some knowledge, I'm throwing my nets far and wide because I have not been able to find something. So as you can see, this bra, like you can see this situation. I hate that. What I am looking for is I'm looking for a balconette, okay, so straight across. They're normally very low, so you don't have any of this business going on. So a balconette or demi-bra, I don't know what terms other countries use, where it's just a square neck. So you've just got the straps and then a situation like this, like a half cup situation, but padded. So I found plenty of demi/balconette bras that are lace and they're beautiful, but they do nothing for my tits. My tits just look very deflated and flat, and it's not perky and proud in those things. Like I said, I do have lots of those because I love the beauty of them, but I don't wear them under clothing most of the time because they just do nothing for the shape and the silhouette. So I'm looking for a padded balconette/demi bra without crazy straps. Like I just want very simple straps. So nothing like thick or like full on lace. Something that's inconspicuous that can go under clothing, give you amazing cleavage without being seen. So if anyone knows, Pleasure State used to do one, and I still have two of them, one in white, one in black, but they're holding on for dear life. And to be honest, they're a size smaller than I am now. It was back when I was like at my thinnest and my titties were a B cup, whereas now I'm a D. So I should not be wearing that bra, but I do, because once again, like I said, I need something that cannot be seen under clothing, but that gives great lift and shape. So if anyone knows of a balconette/demi bra padded, please let me know where and when. I will buy it from overseas. I will pay UK prices, shipping and taxes to get it. So do let me know. Me and my boobers would be forever in your debt. So if I make some purchases, I will be back here to show you my goodies. If not, see you on my next outing. And cupcakes, mango mousse. Oh, it's got a mushroom. Indeed. And that fairy floss. All right, have a taste. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, I am back. I did get some things. So I got some baby stuff for a friend. Pretty much I paid for, and Indiana chose. So Indiana felt like she was the expert on what is fashionable for babies. So to whoever is getting them, I apologize if you don't like it. I probably should have chosen myself, but it was very hard to say no to her when she was so enthusiastically and earnestly trying to choose an outfit for the bubs. So Indy picked some things from that shop. The next thing I got was this Too Faced lip injection liquid lipstick. It's in Boom Boom Pow. The name sometimes, I know that's a Black Eyed Peas song. I've really been trying to find a dark maroon lipstick that does not turn pink on me. If this was, out of all the ones I tested on my wrist, this was the only one that sort of held its pigment. We'll see. If not, then it just means that that lip hue isn't for me, and maybe it's not for me. After reviewing the footage with the brown lipstick I wore to the cinema, I don't think brown lipstick is for me. I don't think it did me any favors. I think I look best in pink tones, I guess, and peaches and maybe corals and some reds. I don't know if this is going to be one of those reds, but we'll see. This is the last time I'm going to try a maroon. I've bought so many and they just look like deep fuchsia on me. I also got this Aveda Be Curly Curl Enhancer. I'm trying to find something that will stop frizzing, because obviously I just went out with wet hair. Stop frizzing and give me some more curls. Like, I have wavy hair. I don't know if it, like, yeah. So I've got wavy hair, but I would love to have curly, like both of my daughters have curls. So I would love to try and bring out the curl in my hair. And I got this hazelnut chocolate praline, which is from some kind of, I think, European brand. So there's so good. Pretty good. An international candy shop there. Most of it is American, but some is European. If anyone from America has some candy or cereal or chocolate recommendations, do let me know and I'll grab one next time I go. It's Blue, man. Yep, she still meows to be let outside. It's just like, it's not going to happen. Indoor cats only. In Australia, it is safer for the cats, but also for the wildlife. So the cats in Australia do kill a lot of native wildlife, and that is no bueno. So the cats are indoor cats. But I did see a pair of rainbow sandals and I was like, oh, I like those rainbow sandals. But they were 50% off and still ridiculously expensive. So I was like, okay, Chanel, give yourself 2 more weeks. And if you still really can't stop thinking about them and want them, go get them. If you've forgotten, then you've forgotten and obviously you don't need them in your life. So I've put that, if I remember in 2 weeks, I'll go get them. If not, we'll leave them alone. I also tried out a bunch of perfumes. So I've worn, my signature scent is Angel by Thierry Mugler. I don't know how to pronounce that surname. But it started to smell different on me. And I'm like, is my body chemistry just changing and not working for me anymore? So it's not that the scent isn't the same. I'm not sure if it's just maybe because it's an older bottle. It's not brand new. Maybe it's gone bad. I know perfume can go bad, but I'm like, I only got it 2 years ago. So is that, I don't know, perfume connoisseurs out there, let me know if that's too old, if that should be perfectly fine. But yeah, it just doesn't smell the same. And that's really upsetting because my original scent was Miranda by Fragonard, and they discontinued that scent. That was made for me. You can always tell when a perfume works very well with your body scent when people just constantly like, you smell amazing. And that was the case with the Fragonard. And then the Angel worked a lot for me too. I used to get compliments on it, but I can tell it just doesn't, even my kids were like, that doesn't, it sort of smells like you, but it doesn't. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I've changed. So I'm looking for a new scent along those lines. So I tend to like perfumes that have sensual notes as well as gourmand notes. So I like a bit of sweetness with the heaviness. I'm thinking of trialing Thierry's other fragrances. He's got 2 alien ones, I think. And I didn't mind how they smelled on paper, but you really do have to wear the scents on your body. But yeah, I went to Mecca and I smelled so many. Oh, there comes a point where you're like, I cannot smell another fragrance, but none of them really called to me, unfortunately. Not a single one did I feel inclined to put on my skin to test it out. So once again, if somebody is very familiar with fragrances, and the 2 fragrances I've mentioned, Miranda by Fragonard and Angel by Thierry Mugler, if you know something that's similar to both of those, let me know. But then I'm like, maybe I should try something completely different. But I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard. I think Meg was talking about it on her channel recently. I think it was on her Patreon, about like having signature scents, and then scent is so evocative and it's so intrinsically tied to memory that if I pass away, God forbid, my children would be able to conjure me in a second just by smelling my perfume. It's such a visceral experience scent. So I do want to have like a signature scent that's me. But yeah, Angel's just not working for me at the moment. So I keep hoping like maybe it'll start smelling like it used to on me again. But so far it's not happened. So yeah, it's hard. There's so many thousands and thousands of perfumes out there, and you're just like, it's hard too because certain perfumes trigger my allergies. So I'll start sneezing or have runny eyes or I have a rash. So even if I like the scent of one, doesn't mean I can wear it. Oh boy, it's it's hard. And like I said, after smelling, I think it was just 20, I was done. I couldn't smell anymore. So it's like every time you're just gonna have to find 20 at a time. Hopefully 2 of those you can wear on your wrists home and see how it goes. But yeah, that was my shopping trip for today. Hey guys, I'll move out the way so you can see Sylvia in the corner. So today on the agenda is my book club that I go to at the library, and we are talking about the book. I have some questions for you, which I did not enjoy. I did not like it, not one little bit. So we'll see how that goes. I hope I'm not in the minority with that. And I'm also going to go back to that store, Twitch's Emporium, which was that very kitschy, cute kind of drag queen vibe store. Okay, she's moved now. And see what that's about. Might get some little bits and bobs from there. I'm also going to go to a cafe, grab some nosh. And then this evening, I am going to a queer burlesque show. So it's part of the Midsummer Festival, which is a festival that celebrates queer culture and arts. And they've got a whole bunch of different events. I decided what I'm going to wear. It could be this. So, I'll put an image up of what this outfit's like. Or I might wear like this very bright floral bustier top with the mini skirt and the diamond tights. I'm not sure which is more burlesque. Probably the fishnet diamond tights, right? I'm probably going to go with those because also this is very tight and figure hugging, and by the end of the evening, I'm going to be bloated as fuck. So I don't know if there's other women out there who bloat a lot, but I bloat a lot, and it's triggered by anything, mostly stress, hormones. I'm due for my time of the month today, so I am very water retention-y, bloated, crampy, kind of cranky. It's the time of the month that I really should be staying home alone, away from everybody else. I'm a bit of a grizzly bear. I'm in pain, I'm irritated, don't touch me, but this is when the evening has fallen on. I also have an event tomorrow night, which is once again another late evening. So I am, I'm going to be in for an interesting time, and then I've got one day break, but pretty much that one day is for me to clean my house because the next day my daughter will be back here for her birthday party with all of her friends. So I'm going to be pretty exhausted after the next 4 days, but 'tis what it is, isn't it? So I'm also going to go and get my hair done. Like I did it today, kinda. I have no hair skills. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the biggest reasons why when my ex-boyfriend told me he was a hair and makeup artist, I was like, yes, school. I was like, this is why God did not bless me with hair skills, because I would end up being with someone that has hair skills. But yeah, so I am going to go and see what they can do and make it cuter, hopefully. Do something a bit different that I wouldn't normally be able to do. All I did today was put some hairspray in my hair. Look, it's another reason why I also cut my hair off, because it was giving me so much anxiety trying to do long hair. I can't even straighten my hair well. That's beyond my skill level. I don't know why. I've watched so many tutorials, but I just can't get the coordination and the knack down. But I will see you guys when I have returned and give you my reviews on things. Obviously this is a weird angle, but I didn't want to disturb Sylvie, so excuse all the stuff in the background. So today was amazing. I went to Twitch's Emporium, freaking love the store. I'll show you what I bought and then I'll tell you my story. So these earrings, which are Mother Mary earrings, fucking love. So I'm wearing them tonight. I also got these stunning earrings and these ones too. Also these. I know my hands are shaking. I've had 2 coffees to try and keep myself awake for this evening. I also got some brown glittery socks because I love a good sock. I got a birthday card for my daughter, Black Cat. I got these cute like amethyst knobs for my cupboards because my knob was loosey-goosey today. So I thought, oh, raw stone crystal. And I got this bloody amazing velvet bag that has constellations on it. So I held myself back. You know when you go to a store and you love absolutely everything in there and you're like, oh my God, I can't afford to buy everything. How do I decide what to choose? That's a dilemma I was in today. There were too many beautiful things and I got overwhelmed and I'm like, okay, Chanel, look, you can come back and have a more, disciplined approach. For now, just grab whatever catches your eye the most. And, when you come back a second time, you can actually properly go through things. But I was just so overwhelmed. Everything was stunning. Loved everything in this shop, including the person who runs it. So I was chatting to the lady. As soon as I walked in, she complimented me on my outfit, said I look fabulous. And I'm like, well, I like you already. I complimented her amazing green outfit in return and we just started vibing. When you meet people and you just start chatting and you're like, are you me? Am I you? We are very similar. And I'm thinking, I know this woman. And I go into the dressing room. Oh my God, you're so cute. You're so cute. And I start looking at my chats with my bestie. Okay, I feel like Sylvie's gone so I can sit here. And I'm like, oh my God, I matched with this woman on Hinge. And it didn't go anywhere because she was looking for non-monogamy, something casual. And I was obviously looking for the love of my life, stay together forever. So we weren't really aligned in our dating goals. So I came back in and I started chatting to her and I said, we actually know each other. And I mentioned we matched on Hinge and she's like, oh my God, I thought I recognized you. How crazy is that? And I brought up like, hey, so it wasn't a match because you wanted non-monogamy and I was looking for monogamy. And she's like, look, I'm not non-monogamous per se, but at the moment I'm not looking to get into a exclusive relationship. I'm not ready for a very serious relationship. I just want to have some fun. I'm like, oh, totally get it. And then she's like, would you be up for being friends? Like, I've just moved back here to Melbourne and I would love someone to hang out with. And I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. So I gave her my number and we were sort of like, oh, this is when I'm free, this is when you're free. And I'm like, just hit me up, just send me a message and we'll catch up. Anyway, I went to my hair appointment and this is what I ended up doing. So something a bit different that I normally wouldn't be able to do at home. And I was like, you know what, maybe she might be interested in coming to the queer burlesque event with me tonight. And it'll be great to have someone to sit next to instead of being solo. So I sent her a message and she's like, yes, that sounds amazing. I've just bought my ticket. Shall I pick you up? I had anxiety with that because I'm like, I don't really know this woman, but at the same time, I'm sure I'm safe. So she is picking me up. So I got her a candle to say thank you. This is one of my favorites. It's maple pancakes by Wax House Candles. Just to say thanks for picking me up. That way I don't have to stress about parking because I'm a bit like low-key worried about the parking situation. And we can like chat and it's also not super stressful because we're going to something. So haven't got that pressure to really like create conversation because she's still someone I don't know. We vibed, but I'm like, oh, is this someone I want to have as a friend or not? But yeah, so we're going out this evening and this is wild for me. This is something that's never happened before. Just meet someone in a shop who happens to be someone I matched with on out and then go out with in the evening with them. So it's kind of crazy, but it's a lot of fun. So I ended up going to Cupid espresso, I think that's what it's called. Very tiny cafe. Love the artwork on the walls. I had an okonomiyaki pancake and I know you're thinking, Chanel, you just ate an amazing okonomiyaki pancake. Do you think you should order one again? Yes, I did. And it was great. It wasn't as amazing as the other one, but it was very different. The texture was very different. So I enjoyed the pancake regardless and the coffee was fantastic. And then I went and got another cappuccino. This one's called a Freddo cappuccino because it's got the layers. From Hellas Cafe, and that was also really good. And my hair was from Mink's Studio. And I had my library book club, which it turns out everybody except the librarian who hosts it hated the book, just like I did. We all had the same opinions, and it's kind of cool when we all felt the same way, because I was a bit worried, am I going to be the only one that didn't like it for this and this reasons? But it was not a popular book all around. But I did grab some other books while I was there. I've heard a lot of great things about Claire Keegan, especially this So Late in the Day little novella. And I grabbed some Jeanette Winterson. This is 12 Bites. And I think this is almost like a non-fiction book. That's what I got the vibe. It says, utopia or dystopia, history repeats itself. The same struggles in different disguises, but AI is new to human history. So I don't know if this is fiction or non-fiction, but it caught my eye based on the cover. So I absolutely love my new goodies. I've got to go more. Like, I'm a big sucker for like statement earrings, and there were so many. There were so many, and I was like, what do I need? Okay, just pick the colors you don't have, and then you can go back for more. But the clothes were gorgeous too. I tried on this vintage bustier with beautiful, beautiful beading. But even though it fit me around my rib area, the bust was quite large and it was gaping, so I couldn't get that. But she's got so many beautiful, stunning pieces there, so we'll be back at some point to do a further in-depth shop. But I was sweating up a storm. You can see from my face, it is incredibly hot and humid in Melbourne, and I'm a sweater, and I was just like, I need to get out of this shop. I'm just gonna leave a puddle of perspiration on the floor if I don't skedaddle. But I had an amazing day. I'm about to go out this evening, super nervous, so nervous. But at the same time, excited, very new experience. So I just hope I have a blast. I'm sure the burlesque show is fantastic, and hopefully I don't get home too late. But I think I will update you guys tomorrow, not this evening. I've got false lashes on, and I think that might be a mistake. I can already feel them starting to lift because my sweat is like mingling with the glue. It might be a bad look, but it's too late now. Can't go back. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, since I'm going to be going to the NGV disco night in the evening. So we went together. Unfortunately, there was a miscommunication with one of the staff members, and we were directed to an area where we were told it would be happening, and we were up there and there was bands playing and it was past starting time, and we thought, oh, maybe they're just running over. And then it got to 9:25 and I was like, no, I don't think it's here. I think we've been misdirected. I don't think a ticketed event would start almost 30 minutes late. So we went walkabouts and we finally found the area it was located. But unfortunately, they had obviously given our seats to others, and there was only 20 minutes left, but they did eventually just put some extra chairs onto a row so we could watch the last three performers. So we missed the majority, the majority of the performance. We had a lovely time chatting though. We were very similar people, very similar past circumstances. So definitely someone that I will hang out with again. The show itself, though, was not a traditional burlesque. So it's not, if you think of Dita Von Teese, it's not that. Wasn't that. It was more focused on the weird, the gross, the humorous. Food was used in certain ways that, look, I don't, I have issues with like food use in certain ways. And so I was not a fan of the evening. It was a bit ick for me, and I was like trying not to gag. Everyone else though was laughing their asses off, so I think most people would really enjoy it. It's, like I said, very quirky and bizarre, but yeah, just the use of like the food in ways to like shock and awe. It was just like, no, not for me. I spent most of the day trying to recover. I ended up waking up at 4 a.m. and then passing out, then waking up again at 8 o'clock. And I really probably would prefer not to go out today. If I wasn't going with my cousin this evening, I definitely just would not have gone. If I was just going solo, I would have just stayed home. So I am like praying to all of the Pantheon gods that when I go out this evening, I don't wake up sick or with a horrible flare up. Even though I am going to be staying home all day tomorrow, I've still got my daughter's party happening here on Saturday. So I want to make sure that I am capable of hosting a whole bunch of children and being, you know, a great host. So for me, this month I went ham. I went out way more than I have ever done in a single month before in my life. And I think it was a bit too much. I was having a great run of health, so I thought I'll milk it. But I'm a bit fatigued on the going out and doing the things because I really am a hermit by nature, and I just love the simple life, man. Reading a book and doing tarot and pottering about the kitchen and in the garden. I love the quiet. It's great for my nervous system. So it was fun to do something different and to really go out there and taste all of the elements in Melbourne and everything that was being offered, because January summer holidays is a big event a month in our state. There's lots to do. So I did kind of want to see everything, but it was a good learning experience because now I know too there's certain events that I probably wouldn't want to do again. In terms of like going out in the evenings, it's definitely not my preferred. I do much better with daytime events. But yeah, I think I'm just going to be more selective with what I choose to do and really use my knowledge of what I think I will actually enjoy rather than just doing something for the sake of pushing me out of my comfort zone and trying new things. Like, say, trying something new once a month and do a few things you actually know are going to be fun for you and not drain your battery too much. After my daughter's birthday on the weekend, we're all just going to be gearing up to get back to school because school starts again. It'll be back into the school runs and making the school lunches. I don't know about other mums, but I hate it. I hated school, and having children who go to school, it almost makes you feel like you're back in school again. And it just gives me low-level anxiety every day when I have to get up and get them ready for school and take them to school. Oh, I don't like it. Like, I would love to homeschool. That would be the dream if my children were into that. One of them is not. But it's just not possible when I'm on my own and I have to work. So I must take them to school and relive that school life, so to speak. I just think in general schools need to be reworked and restructured, and that the method and the system that they've been using all of these hundreds of years is just it's not relevant anymore. It's not the best for all of the kids. And yeah, but I don't think, after the lockdown, I thought maybe they will change the way we run schools and look to other countries. I think is it Finland is one of those countries is really progressive with their education system. They actually do less, but they also put an emphasis more on being in nature and also adapting to children's different learning styles. We don't all learn the same way, but no, we just ended up going back to the same old, which benefits very few. Like, it's suited to a very few type of kids, and the rest of them not so much. I got some decks in today, so I got my playing cards that BB found. And they arrived, so that was really happy. The cardstock though is a bit like, oh, seems very fragile, but I got that today. I also got a Kickstarter deck. I have so many Kickstarter decks that I'm still waiting to receive, as well as mass market decks that I pre-ordered and I can't cancel. So I think I'm going to be very deck busy in the first half of the year. It's just going to be all loaded to the first half of the year and then nothing in the second half of the year. So I'll give you an update on how I go this evening.
Or watching someone else making coffins in pure white snow.
Nor do I want it.
He was like,
Good morning. So this will be the last little segment for the Melbourne Diaries. It is my daughter Indiana's birthday party today. She's having an Adventure Time / Super Mario birthday theme. I'll put a picture of the cake in. Hopefully it turned out. These cakes do, though, so expensive. So the triennial evening was 2 nights ago. I don't think I would go again. It's just very packed. So there's lots of people, and because they're playing like loud music, it was very loud as well. So I think it was just too overstimulating for me. It was really great though to hang out with my cousin. So we had a nice time just going through the artwork together and catching up. But yeah, I don't think it is something that I would do again, just because it was just too much noise and too many people for moi. That being said, if you're new to Melbourne, I think it's a great idea to go, because there was actually quite a few people walking around solo. So it wasn't just all couples and families and friends. So, and it's got like that, I guess, party atmosphere. So it feels like you're at a party. So yeah, it might be more comfortable for people to go to that solo rather than just going randomly at another time. After that, we went to Arbory Afloat. I didn't take any footage, but it was very busy. Once again, we did have to wait a while to be able to catch a seat because it was also raining. So a lot of the seating area there was just out in the rain, couldn't be used. This is a very popular place to go in Melbourne. It's basically just like a floating barge bar on the Yarra where you get drinks, and I think they also serve Mexican food. But I had a lovely time catching up with my cousin. We did stay out till 11 and I paid for it. I paid for it so bad the next day. Just major flare-ups. I still haven't recovered. You can hear it in my throat as well. I definitely pushed myself to my limits, and after today, I just really wish that I could be one of those people that can go out until 11 p.m. I know it's not even that late, but perhaps not. I think for very special occasions, but just for a random hang, I probably won't do that again, 'cause I don't like feeling like trash. At 38, I want to actually wake up in a decent state and not have to just spend the whole day moaning on the couch. But I shall leave you guys with some footage from Indiana's party. And until next time, stay wild, star child.